1, 2, 3. We're live.
Yeah, like like when it comes to wellness, I love traveling, like getting in the sun, fresh air, like water. But I'll be honest, like obviously like this trip has kind of stressed me, like with Tesco. You already know that,
Right.
yeah,
Your mobile phone, Tesco mobile.
right. But I think that is a bigger indication of how female solo travelers, I don't think are really supported. I think, obviously I can only speak from my experience, but if I was in Europe, I think I'd be able to use my phone easily, like I wouldn't have all these issues. And that goes back into what I was talking about, like my comfort zone. Like I feel comfortable when I'm in Europe because I can speak French, I know a bit of Spanish, most people speak English. Here, only one or two people speak English.
Yeah, and it's very little English.
Yeah, and I just think language barrier, I think for some people maybe it would excite them. They'd be more, maybe get imaginative, like use their hands, use their facial expressions. I think for me it just triggers me and I'm just like, damn, like I feel unsafe.
Right. It kind of comes down to, again, like your experience when you've been in Europe. You felt safer because they're westernized societies. It's near to the UK, so you kind of feel like I'm actually not traveling that far. But when you come over to Asia, like Asia really, it's a whole different continent, right? So it's automatically putting you out of your comfort zone, and that's really, really normal. I think the majority of humans don't have it in them to feel comfortable when they go to another country, especially if they don't travel as much. So in that case, like what I would say is, you know, if you are somebody that is willing to travel and experience something new, coming prepped helps. Obviously you did your best by letting Tesco Mobile know that you were coming, letting your banks know that you were going to be using your card over here, and then you've had issues, right?
Yeah.
So that's why I was going back to saying, like, using local currency, local SIM cards helps. And I think, you know, it's important as humans that we do have to come with an open mind, but it helps speaking to friends or maybe even watching other videos of other travel bloggers or travel vloggers on TikTok to see like how they did things. I came here completely unknown. I partially call it like forced because I was like, where do I go when it's cheap and I can, you know, stretch my money? And like I said, I also came with my mobile phone, and I'm with 3, and I've used my phone internationally in other countries, and I'm able to put on like the data passport, which allows you to use your data. But when I came to Thailand, same thing. I'm in the airport, within 2 seconds, literally like 2 seconds, it was like you ran out of data.
Yeah, that's what happened to me.
And yeah, and then to actually, you know, when you don't know, when you're going into the unknown, you don't know like what to expect. So I'm thinking, oh, no problem, I'll just connect to the airport Wi-Fi. No, you have to pay for the airport Wi-Fi. Or and I think you managed to get on, but my issue was it wasn't letting me get on unless I had a Thai SIM number.
Oh.
So then automatically I've been like, oh my God, like it seems like here I need to have a Thai SIM card to do things like the locals. So I ended up spending £26 on a monthly data plan, which gave me unlimited internet, unlimited minutes. And then I was like, okay, you know what, like I feel like I'm in control now. So it's all about like how you control your like environment. So and you immerse yourself in the society, you see what the locals are like, you actually get on the metro, and everything becomes quite easily accessible on your phone because she's been hotspotting me and using my data. Like you feel more comfortable, right?
Yeah.
And actually now that you're like 4 or 5 days in, you're like, oh, I could extend my stay here.
Because that's actually what I was gonna say. Like, I think anything in life, like you have to actually practice it.
Yes.
And I'll be honest, I'm actually quite surprised at how fearful I was, because in my London life,
Right.
I would say I'm the opposite of fearful in the sense of, yeah, like quitting my 9 to 5, setting up my own thing.
Right.
That you had to, it takes getting over fear. So it's kind of weird to me, like, raw, like in London, like you're all about, yeah, just be free, like F it, but then you come outside of it just goes back to
the comfort zone.
Yeah, like your local environment is only going to reveal a certain version of you, which is why it's important to step into different locations, because I think it's going to bring out different versions of you that you'll never see in London. I didn't know I was this anxious.
Right.
I'm anxious.
She's anxious, but that's really grateful that I have the experience that I can like help you through it. But of course, if you are somebody who doesn't travel often or doesn't travel out of Europe, right? Which is a big thing, because Europe and Asia is not the same thing. We need to like make sure everybody that's like watching it like understands that they're two totally different continents with different types of people. The people thing, that's a whole other conversation, right? Like we're not even going to talk about what society is like here. Right now we're just talking about the travel. But what I was going to say is like, it's really important that if you are somebody who's wanting to travel or wants to be less fearful and kind of put yourself into the unknown, traveling helps. And if you don't want to travel alone, you speak to people like myself who travel often, right? And I do, you know, a few different continents, and I've
let them know, how can they get in contact with you?
That's funny, but you know, like I'm really glad that I'm able to help you gain this experience, because now maybe next time you'll come back alone and do it by yourself, and you'll know that you need to have a local SIM card, you need to have more than a couple of bank cards, so that you don't have issue with NatWest not allowing you into your account. NatWest
and Tesco,
we're onto you.
Yeah, you lot pagans. Actually pagans. You should actually get cancelled.
No, you stressed her for 7 hours from 7 a.m. to 2. It's 2 now.
Yeah. And
basically what happened was, because she didn't have access to her money, she called the emergency line to be like, hi, I can't get into my account, and the guy decided within 5 seconds of listening to her, because she said she had a little bit of local currency, he was like, unfortunately I can't help you. And I think it's really important to highlight that it's really, really dangerous and unsafe for women to not be able to have access to their money if they're solo traveling. Now luckily Naomi was with me, and we were in my house, and you know, we had Wi-Fi, and we were able to make, you know, the calls, and you know, we got some help from her dad to facilitate those, because that's what you have to do. You have to use your brain and, you know, put solutions together. But it took her 7 hours, and she still never got anywhere with that. So it's really important, girls, guys, if you're traveling, make sure you have more than, I would say, at least minimum 3 bank accounts that have money spread out over them, and you can easily transfer them. I was saying to Naomi, yes, traditional banking is great because your money's safer, they have protocols, they have better like security, you know, protocols, but having like an internet online bank account is also really useful.
Nice. That's actually golden advice.
Yeah.
I'm the gold.
Thank you.
And yeah, I think
common sense, guys. You know, but I know some people.
Common sense is not common.
Right, and also I'm not even saying it in a like not even in a belittling way. That's why it's important that if you decide to want to be out of your comfort zone, definitely don't just go onto the unknown.
I think it just goes back to talking to people who have done it.
Yeah, and I think because you knew I was here, you did what you could, and you were good.
Yeah.
But now that you've experienced that, and if I'm not around,
guys, I don't know what I'd be doing here. If you, I wanted to say something, but I'm not gonna say it.
What are you saying? What are you thinking? What do you want me to say?
I would say that, bro, like they'd be like thinking I'm like
a lost puppy.
No, lost puppy. You know what we did on the first night?
Yeah.
When we were on the strip and we were looking at.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah,
like
they'd just be coming to me and just thinking, "Are you okay? Do you need help?" And they're just taking me away.
This is really funny. I guess this is like, you know, Thailand is a really interesting place, and obviously that what we're talking about is like a really small, minuscule part of Thailand.
And your Thai experience.
It's a Thai experience, like, you know, it's like a you know, I guess I wouldn't say it's more of a tourist experience because the locals don't do that. It's not facilitated for locals. It's basically kind of like a red light district, having fun, you know, and there's loads of pretty women, whatever your cup of tea is. And basically, I kind of was showing...
Yeah, because women, remember, we're in 2025, that's an inclusive term. There's all types of humans.
Yeah, whatever you're into.
Calling themselves women.
Whatever you're into, you can get that here. And you know, like...
You see it on the street, and this is 2025.
And basically, we were just doing people watching activity. Because we were waiting for our Grab, which is the equivalent of an Uber. And Naomi said some funny things like, oh, there's no way that they would come up to us. I basically said to her, I'm like, you know, because we're standing in this area, they're going to assume that we're also like women, workers on the strip. And she was like, no way, like we're tourists and we're foreign.
And what was I wearing? No, because obviously I know, like I'm looking a bit summery, but I wasn't looking like this on the strip.
Yeah, you were wearing
I had shorts, top, but also like a shirt.
Yeah, you were covered.
Yeah.
So I
just thought, I'm just looking like a tourist.
Yeah, she thought she looked like a tourist, but it don't matter, you know.
Yeah.
If you're a pretty woman,
well,
and
we could get paid. That's what.
And basically, what happened was we were waiting for our Grab at near a Hilton hotel. Kind of people watching, and we were watching different men pick up different women, and it was quite a funny, light-hearted experience. And I said to her, watch, we will get approached because we're in this area, and because it's tourism, you know, it's all types of women. It can be exotic women, and maybe we looked exotic, and then an individual did walk over towards us thinking we were going to provide a service. But lo and behold, we turned our backs.
But I think as well, just to add why it was interesting and funny to watch, because when it comes to this type of work, I personally, no shame, however anybody wants to live their life, as long as it's not harming anybody, cool. So I always come at that type of work from that perspective. But then the workers, they have so much confidence, so much sass, so that's why it was funny, because they weren't feeling any type of way.
Yeah, they're sassy.
No, this is what I do, this is what I'm about, and I would do a reenactment, but I don't want to fall in the water. I feel like I'll slip.
we don't need to do that.
Yeah.
But you know, overall, it's been a very enlightening experience for Naomi, and the locals have made you feel safe. They're nice, you know.
And listen, this highlights how safe I feel. I would never do this in the UK. You know, when we were eating yesterday, there was there are police or security, some type of law enforcement.
Yes.
I'm there waving at them. They're waving at me back. We were on a good rapport. Do you think I'd be doing that to feds in London? Come on.
I know. Here, it's,
come on. Wouldn't happen.
Again, I think this goes back to kind of policing as well. Policing is a whole other conversation in the West.
A whole conversation.
Here, and very much I can say this hand on heart, that my experience of policing here is truly, when I say safety for the people, for the public, it doesn't matter whether you're a tourist or you're a local. The law enforcement here is genuinely for the protection of the people, and I think us being from the UK, we don't feel that safety when it comes to the police or, you know, law enforcement.
Yeah, because I'm gonna be real. Like I said earlier, I have not experienced racism. Obviously there's 2 days to go, but I'm very 99.9.
You don't feel uncomfortable?
No. And this is the thing, I don't have that I don't have that fear of, people are already judging me, people already have stereotyped me. That's why I don't have that fear of the police in the same way. And because I know I'm not on badness on this trip, so I have nothing to be afraid of. And also as well, on the metro stations, they have the metal detectors.
Yes.
I just feel so safe.
Yes.
Here where we're staying, security everywhere. They wouldn't let me in because I didn't have a key card. It was my Hello Kitty bag that got me into the security office.
I think London needs to have more of that. I know we have security, but actually having security where people live That's a very common it's kind of like a part of life here. I've noticed that pretty much every public building has its own security, and I know that exists in London, but I actually mean like the residential areas, even like the small local Thai type of like housing, which isn't like expensive condos or anything like that. Like even they have their own security, and I think it's important because it's back to being safe. Everybody's safe, and the metal detectors thing is all of the metro stations here. Once you pay for your little token, you go through like the metal detector, and I guess they're looking for like guns because
I just want to
extra security.
I just want to emphasize the security, just because some people watching it may be thinking, oh, in London though, like with bougie flats, you have like you have that reception and you have like a doorman or somebody sitting there. No, we're talking actual security. You know, like actual people, staff here to look after the residents
in places that are affordable housing.
And I was about to make that point.
Right.
Like, maybe in London, I don't know. There's probably there's a lot of rich people.
I lived in an apartment. I had no security.
Right.
You know, like
I just have 2 door fobs, you know. And the camera, but we're talking about staff looking after us, and for the accommodation that we're in, it's not expensive. Like.